of Cost Accountants of India. He is also a founder of Bisol India Service Private Limited. He is a practicing cost accountant. He is presently Central Council member of ICAI CMA. He is having industry exposure of more than 36 years in field of direct tax, foreign tax policy, FEMA, etc. Before funding this company, he had worked with many renowned companies like Mahindra, Piramal, and Jain Group. He has imparted training even to the officials of Central Excise of Government Department. He has imparted training in more than 400 seminars organized by various institutes like ICAI CA, ICAI CMA, ICSI, etc. He is a regular speaker in various lectures, seminars arranged by Bisol on budget, foreign trade policy, etc. Other than this, he is also authored various articles in professional journals and magazines on various subjects. He is one of the contributors to number of suggestions implemented by Central Board of Excise and Custom, Ministry of Commerce for liberalization and simplification of law. Currently, he is heading the Taxation Committee of ICAI CMA, which assists and advise policymakers for devising the tax reforms in India. He is ex-member of Task Force for drafting SEZ rules, revamping of EOA scheme, and Regional Advisory Committee of Excise Commissionerate. With this, I would like to hand over to Naval sir.
Thank you, Dhananjay. Only one correction. The profile which you have read, I think it was of 2015-16, when I was the council member as well as chairman taxation committee. Now, neither I am the council member nor the chairman taxation committee. To that extent, there is a correction, so which should be noted. Otherwise, I don't want to face some other something based on such introduction. Right? Thank you. At the outset, good evening to all, and I hope all of you are safe. And most importantly is, I really from the bottom of my heart appreciate the efforts taken by the Pimpri-Chinchwad chapter of Cost Accountant and invited me to give the lecture on this webinar. With this, I am now trying to share my screen of today's subject. Are you able to see my screen, please? Hello?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet, sir.
Okay, just a minute. How to share the screen now? I'll have to check. Share your
at the right side bottom corner, there are 3 buttons.
Yeah.
Near there is a present now. Just click on that present now.
One is just a minute. Huh?
Yeah.
No, one is this one, the right side. No?
Right side corner, bottom corner. There is a present now. You click on that.
No, right side, nothing is there.
There is a raise your hand, and just near to that.
Yeah. Okay. Share. I have to.
Okay. Present. On that now you share your entire screen. Click on that.
Yeah. Could you get it now?
Not yet. It will come, but not yet. Now you have to click on share entire screen.
Your PPT. So you go to your PPT and share it all.
Now
Yeah, I
screen,
got to the PPT.
yeah, now screen is coming. Just to open
PPT is
PPT.
on. Yeah, screen is there. How to prepare for the departmental GST audit. Hello.
And, will you see
Whether
share it all?
Screen.
No, now you open PPT, then only it will see.
Hello. Yeah, I have opened the PPT in front of me. Just a minute again. I'll start with. Now share what?
And now again click share your entire screen.
Just a minute. Today, unfortunately, nobody is in my house.
You can share, sir. You can share entire screen or a window also.
No, entire screen. After clicking on that, there is screen will appear on that. Again, click it, and there is again a share button at the bottom. Just click on that.
No, share. I do share here. I'll send a mail there. That is the best one to do. I think. I'm not able to share. I don't know. Just a minute. And you see, I've tried to share. I'm getting your entire screen.
Right,
Now,
right. Click on that.
Where I should click share.
No, your entire screen. Click on that. Then, so again a window will come. Then there is again share button, share and cancel. So you click on share.
No, nothing is happening on that. You share on entire screen. Chrome
Right,
wants.
click on that. Now other screen will open.
No, it's not happening.
सर तुम्ही पीपीटी तुम्हाला दिसते का?
माझी पीपीटी माझ्याकडे आहे पण ते तुम्हाला मला शेअर करता येत नाही.
हा ती पीपीटी ओपन जेव्हा तुम्ही कराल तर तुम्हाला शेअरचं बटन दिसते का साईडला कॉर्नर?
नाही पीपीटी वर नाही येणार ते. हे झूमला जायचं. झूमची जी मीटिंग चालू आहे तिथे ते प्रेझेंट नाऊ ला क्लिक करायचं.
नाही हे गुगल वर आहे सर.
सॉरी गुगललाच ना, बरोबर ना. सो तिथे प्रेझेंट नाऊला क्लिक करायचं. मग तिथे एंटायर स्क्रीनवर क्लिक करायचं. मग एक नवीन विंडो ओपन होईल. मग त्या ठिकाणी खाली एक शेअर बटन आहे आणि मग ती पीपीटी ओपन करायची.
सर तुम्ही आणखीन एक करा ना सर. प्रेझेंट नावला तुम्ही जाल ना,
हा
तिथे विंडोला एकदा हे करा.
एक मिनिट.
विंडोला पण ओपन होतं सर.
हो तिथे पण होतं. येस.
व्हाइट बोर्ड चेंज लेआउट फुल स्क्रीन स्विच कॅमेरा चेंज कॅमेरा यूज फोटो और ऑडिओ. ये तो शेअर येतच नाही हो
सर. मग विंडोवर क्लिक करा. त्याच्या खालचं बटन आहे विंडो नावाचं आहे ते क्लिक करा. प्रेझेंट नावच्या खाली क्लिक केलं.
प्रेझेंट नावला जा परत एकदा.
आता बघा प्रेझेंट नाव.
त्याच्यामध्ये विंडो आहे का?
हो विंडो आहे.
त्याच्यावर
विंडोला क्लिक करा सर.
हा केलं.
आता तुमची पीपीटीला जा.
आता मला मी पीपीटीला जाऊ. आता पीपीटी काढायला.
नाही इथंच जा सर.
नाही मला पीपीटी नाही ना याच्यात.
हा मग ठीक आहे पीपीटी वर जा तुम्ही आधी.
मला आधी पीपीटीला जावं लागेल ना. आता एक मिनिट.
ऑलरेडी ओपनच आहे ना पीपीटी सर.
नाही आता काढतो ना मी ते. एक मिनिट.
मिनिमाइज करून
ठेवावं लागते सर.
ती ओपन ठेवली का?
पीपीटी ओपन ठेवावं लागते आधी आणि मग प्रेझेंट नावला हे करावं लागतं.
एक मिनिट. ये जाता येते का? नाही.
पीपीटी तुम्ही ओपन केली आहे ना?
पीपीटी ओपन
स्क्रीन येतोय.
स्क्रीन येतोय परत गेला आता.
नाही दिसतोय.
आता आलं का?
स्क्रीन येतोय. आता तुम्ही जी पीपीटी जी मिनिमाइज केलेली असेल तिच्यावर क्लिक करा. आता याला असंच राहू द्या. पीपीटी मिनिमाइज केलेली असेल तिच्यावर क्लिक करा.
हा दिसतंय का आता?
नाही अजून सर.
आय डोंट नो यार. Stop presenting.
हा तुम्ही आता पीपीटी ओपन करून ठेवली आहे ना सर?
हे जेव्हा ओपन करतो तेव्हा पीपीटी चालली जाते माझी स्क्रीनवर.
नाही नाही, ती मिनिमाइज करून ठेवा खाली फक्त.
ओपन करून फक्त मिनिमाइज करा आणि मग प्रेझेंट नावला जा परत एकदा.
एक मिनिट, आता मी मिनिमाइज केलं.
हा आता प्रेझेंट नावला जा परत.
माझी ती स्क्रीनच दिसत नाही मला इथं.
नाही तुम्ही प्रेझेंट नावला जेव्हा हे कराल तेव्हा ते तुम्हाला दिसेल तिथे.
आता येते का?
नाही अजून नाही. तुम्ही प्रेझेंट नावला गेल्यानंतर ते विंडोवर क्लिक
प्रेझेंट नावला
केलं.
विंडोला क्लिक करा.
हा इथं आलं, शेअर माय स्क्रीन आली.
हा आता शेअर करा.
आता ती हे मला ओपन करावं लागेल ना फाईल.
हा पीपीटीला हे करा ना तुम्ही.
नाही जमत आहे. नाही येते बघा.
सर तुम्ही सेंड करता का ईमेलवर? मी इकडनं ओपन करतो.
एक मिनिट मला सेंड करतो. एक मिनिट. एक सेकंड, मला ते काय टेक्नो सेव्हिंग नसल्यामुळे प्रॉब्लेम होतो. हेलो, मेरा वेबिनार चलो, मेरे को शेयर नहीं कर, मेरे को एनी डेज दूं क्या मैं? क्या?
नाही अजून.
मैं तो मला येत नाही. मैं तर मुलीला सांगतो एनी डेज करून कर म्हणून. चालू किया बेटा? अच्छा, ये नहीं दे दो मुझे। सिक्स थ्री सिक्स नहीं 638 है, 638 636 887। हाँ, आया नहीं अभी तक। तो वही है ना। हाँ हाँ, अभी आया किया। अभी मेरे को जो है ना, मैं इस पे ज्वाइन हुआ हूँ, ऑलरेडी वेबिनार में हूँ मैं। अभी मेरे को मेरे इसमें जाइए आप, इस पे नहीं शेयर क्या हो, पीपीटी शेयर करना है मेरे को। हेलो, डिपार्टमेंटल ऑडिट की पीपीटी शेयर करना है।
सर पीपीटी दिसते ना?
पीपीटी आली होती ना?
आली होती आता.
Yeah, are you able to see the screen?
Yes. Ali, PPT Ali.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry. Yes, sir. So now it is something like how to prepare the departmental audit. I was not able to prepare my techno savvy. So now similarly is going to be a departmental audit. Let's go toward that. Audit is going to be for of course, your accounts and records. And when we see the definition of accounts and records, section and rule put together talks about records to be maintained by the registered person for each registration separately, including the principal place of business and additional place of business. And what is that? Goods and services imported and exported, supplies attracting payment of tax and reverse charge. But most importantly, stock of goods supplied and received, a quantitative record, opening balance, receipt, supply, goods lost, stolen, destroyed, written up, and disposed of by way of a gift and pre-sample, including raw material, finished goods, and scrap and wastages. Similarly, monthly production of accounts of quantitative details of raw material and services used in the manufacture, quantitative details of goods manufactured, including waste and byproduct, and whatever the input services you have used, where you have utilized those services. So if you see these three parts, only it is in the cost accounting records you will be able to find out, not in the financial statement. And these are also included in the definition of accounts and records. So all those things you will have to see it, including advance received paid, details of tax payable, tax invoice, credit note, delivery challans, name and addresses of suppliers, customers, and recipient, and wherever you are storing the goods or warehousing the goods and supplying therefrom, all those things will be the documents under the accounts and records. So when department persons will start the audit, they will be issuing you notice, which I'll go through all next slides. But whenever anybody is going to start the audit, he will understand the business of the auditee, understand the software use, and he will be focusing on the transactions which do not appear in the financial accounts. Like, registration. A core changes. I have seen some of the examples that warehouses addresses has been added, but operation started in the warehouse, but that has not been changed in the registration certificate. So the question will come whether ITC or movement of material will be allowed without registration. Non-core changes, penalty for not doing the registration, changes in the registration also will be seen. Customer master, supplier master, that is most important because you will be knowing the place of supply and what type of tax you are going to charge. Suppliers, similarly, the place of supply and whether the CGST and AGST is going to charge, and you have taken the ITC or IGST credit. Items with HSN, rate of tax thereof. Services, rate of tax and exemption claimed by you. Tax codes and ITC entitlement. All that you will have to first see it. Whether any purchases under the composition scheme, threshold limit and aggregate turnover, outward supplies and determination of tax liabilities, inward supply, eligibility of ITC and reversal of ITC, all those aspects will be the important point to us. Before start of the point, he will be doing it. Now, department has spelled out what is the object of this departmental audit. No short payment and identification of risk-based parameters. Detailed examination of records, which we have seen. What are the records? Returns, whether GSTR 1, 3B, GSTR 9, 9C comments, and other documents maintained by the registered person under GST law or is required to be maintained. Verification and correctness of records, turnover declared, taxes paid, refund claim, whether right or wrong, input tax credit availed, and assessment of compliance with the provisions of GST law and rules. For checking this object of detail A and B, the audit will be conducted. When we talk on the principles of audit, which has been spelled out in the GST audit manual published by the department, conducting audit in the systematic and comprehensive manner, and therefore what is that which we will be talking on in the next 1 hour? Emphasize the identified risk areas and scrutinizing the records. Maintain in the normal course of business. Applying audit techniques on base of materiality, that is how much degree of scrutiny is required. Audit tool depending on the risk factors. And proper recording of all checks and findings made during the entire audit. Auditor, departmental auditor, unlike in year 2000, they will be required to answer to the questionnaires. They will be required to prepare certain statements. They will be required to do certain ratio analysis. And based on that, they will have to record their findings. identify the unexplored compliances of verification parameters. And what is let down here, the auditors are supposed to educate the taxpayer for voluntary compliances if there are non-compliances. What will be the duration of audit? Last taxpayer, who are the last taxpayer? More than 50 crore of turnover. They are called as the last taxpayers. It's expected they are supposed to work 6 to 8 working days on the field. Medium taxpayer, 4 to 6 working days. 25 crore turnover. And less than 25 crore turnover, small taxpayer, 2 to 4 working days. How the audit will be conducted, how the action will be taken. So first, the commissioner, DG audit, will prepare will make a creation of audit team and prepare the schedule on the basis of risk assessment. DG audit will be doing the risk assessment based on the industry or based on the different parameters, and they will decide whether it will be done the annual audit or quarterly audit. Of course, it will be done the annual audit, and period also will be decided. Now, already the department started the audit issuing notices. Allotment of taxpayer to audit groups. And once that is formed and the desk review is carried out, then department will give you the notice of ADT 01, where you will have to furnish necessary details within 15 days, and 15 days prior notice will be given. Reviewing the taxpayer data, GSTN has developed a good system of a taxpayer at a glance. Registration, returns, payment, dispute resolution, audit report utility has been very nicely designed by the GSTN network. E-way bills and third-party data. Third-party data include the income tax data. Third-party data include the MCA data. Third-party data includes the RBI data and the bank data. All that data will be collated with your information, and desk review will be done offline and online mode, and will be uploading the result of the desk review. And based on those uploading of the data of the desk review, the audit plan will be made, and based on that, audit schedule will be prepared, and verification and uploading of verification report will be there within 24 hours of the completing of the audit. The draft audit report will be notified, and it will be put for the monitoring committee meetings within 10 to 15 days. All audit paras will be discussed in the monitoring committee meetings, and minutes of monitoring committee meetings will be notified within 24 hours of the meeting held. Then final audit report will be uploaded within 30 days, and it will be communicated in ADT 02. That is the form. And if you are agreeing with the audit para will be closed. Otherwise, action will be taken under section 73 and 74, where you do not agree. So, agree for disagreement, show cause notice will be get issued. Selection of registered person will be based on the risk-based assessment, the nature of industries you have, nature of findings you have in the GSTN 9C, preparation of the audit schedule based on the desk review, and annual audit plan will be made. Sometimes theme-based coordinated audit also will be made, and based on your accreditation audit findings, you will be accredited, and based on that, frequency audit will be decided. Now, let us see what is the authority under the law for carrying out the GST audit. Section 65 of the CGST Act and Rule 101 provides the provision of the audit carried by the department. Commissioner or any officer authorized by him by way of a specific order or general order may undertake the audit of any registered person at any frequency as may be prescribed based on the desk review. Officers referred above will conduct the audit. At the place of business of the registered person in their office. So, audit can be conducted at the place of registered person or in the office of the department. They will be, after selection, they will be sending you a notice, minimum 15 days prior notice will be given to you. And audit can be completed within 3 months. Within 3 months, and can be extended, but will not be extended for further 6 months. Now, one of the important point to section 65, this explanation you have to see. During the course of audit, authorized officer may require the registered person to afford him the necessary facility to verify the books of accounts, to furnish the information as may be required, and most importantly, read this para, render the assistance in timely completion of audit. It means earlier also they were asking us to do the work, but that was unofficial. Now that has been made official. So they can ask you to prepare whatever the questionnaires answer to that, ratio analysis, whatever they are required to do. So they will ask you to furnish. Of course, this is the blessing in disguise, because now department, our audit has gone that is the GST audit, which was there under section 35 and 44, which has gone. Now it will be self-certification. Now departmental audit, since chartered accountant or cost accountant they were doing the reconciling the accounts in the form GST and 9C, that has already gone. So now it will be the opportunity for all practicing cost accountants. Whenever the departmental audit is prescribed in ADT 01, lot of data will be required to be furnished, and that will have to assist our client. We'll have to assist our client to ensure the departmental audit goes smooth. Because departmental auditor will ask you to do lot of work, which is mandatory under section 65, subsection 5, to render the assistance and to afford him the necessary facility to verify the books of accounts. Rule 101 rule provides that they will be informing you in form in the ADT 01, and after audit findings they will be informing you in the form ADT 02 all the audit paras. Now if you see that the department has come out with a very nice manual for the departmental officers how to conduct the audit. What are the things which is to be needed? So that which will be done by the desk review, and they will be furnishing the audit report to audit monitoring committee, and audit monitoring committee will decide whether the department should go ahead for the action or not. So, ADT 01 will ask you to furnish duly self-attested following documents. One is GST Audit Manual Annexure 1, GST Audit Manual Annexure 5, GST Audit Manual Annexure 6. Then they will ask you all the copies of registration certificates and whenever amendment made. Give you the summary of GSTR 1, GSTR 3B reconciliation, GSTR 9 and 9C comments and payment challan, and GSTR 2A reconciliation. Details of e-way bill reconciliation for inward and outward supplies. You may be knowing that today e-way bill has been made a mandatory from 1st May 2018. And for all outward supplies, interstate and intrastate subject to the limit, you will have to have that e-way bill reconciliation. Show cause notice, any earlier objections, all that before they come for the audit, you will have to furnish it. Annual accounts, balance sheet, profit and loss account, and trial balance as a company as a whole, as well as every registered unit trial balance. Copies of the tax audit report, copies of 3CB and 3CD report, cost audit report, and 26A statement. All that will be required to be furnished. And not only furnished, will be required to be reconciled with our books of accounts. Consider for payment of GST tax. Now, if you see, I said GST and GST Audit Manual Annexure 1, what it contains. It contains name of registered person, GSTN number of each person, address, principal place of business, registered office of the person, permanent account number, description of goods and services supplied, details of partners, proprietor, CEO, chairman and managing director as the case may be, custom registration number, that is the bin number, IC code, CIN number for the MCA, stockbroker number if it is applicable, name and address of the authorized person, all the bank details where the GST is deposited, bank account, other bank accounts and branch including the address and account number, details of supplies made and taxes paid, HSN wise data of ITC and goods supplied, service code wise value of services and ITC, and details of zero rated supplies and exports. Till that extent is okay. Now the most important part starts it. Your GST records, cost audit records, tax audit reports, and financial accounts record has to match. And that is the reason this chart is important to understand. Your quantity manufactured which you are showing, which will be matched with your accounts and records which you are maintaining under section 35 and rule 56. That also will be matched with the income tax audit report, cost audit report as a company as a whole, and balance sheet and ITR statement. This purposely I have given the numbers, which column of which will be matched with what. Goods cleared, that is goods supplied, as per section 35, your GST records. In GSTR 9, you might have mentioned in this column. Cost audit report under serial number 4 and 4 in bracket 8 of the annexure. Income tax audit report 28B B Roman 4. Schedule of balance sheet and ITR para number is given. GST paid, whether it is paid from ITC, credit ledger or cash ledger. Exports, quantitative reconciliation, ITC, all those figures will be matched with the cost audit report, financial audit report, tax audit report, and you don't expect all this working will be done by the auditor. He will ask you to furnish this. So before departmental audit is on, you need to reconcile this, and difference if any, you should be able to reconcile it and give the reasons thereof. Prepare it before the audit starts. Now department has also asked you to work out certain ratio analysis. This is the GST audit, or annexure 4. Now this ratio analysis, we know ratio analysis are the nothing but the pathological test to know where the things are going wrong, or to identify from the bird's eye view that is what is going wrong. So now this ratio, what are the ratios they will be calculating? Rather, they will be asking you to calculate. And results of this ratio analysis will be furnished to the GST audit network, and those queries will come from that, and that from that they will know what type of detailed audit we will have to do, or departmental person will have to do. The first ratio is input tax credit availed. That is total tax paid. That is total input tax credit availed divided by total tax paid. Now, if this ratio will indicate what is the value addition, or whether this ratio is matching with your value addition based on the cost audit report, whether this is matching with your this report, and if not, what are the reasons thereof, whether inventory has gone up, or you have purchased certain invoices and not received the goods. All those will be the indicators. Total inward supply cost to total outward supply value. It will also give the value addition percentage. And this ratio, what is the difference? Why there is a difference? So that we'll have to analyze. This value addition, whether it matches with the financial statement, whether it matches with your profit percentage or the cost audit report, that also can be seen. Input tax credit availed on capital goods purchased to addition of capital goods. Now this addition of capital goods will be checked with the cross block of yours, addition to fixed asset, and what are the rates applied. Whether you have taken the undue credit of immovable properties or otherwise, that can be seen. Other income divided by sales. Other income may constitute no GST supplies, exempted supplies. So what is that percentage? And on that percentage, whether the correspondingly reversal of 42 and 43 has come or not, that also can be seen. Outward supply of scrap and total outward supply of made. Now let us say your inward supply value addition and scrap generation, and what is the scrap valuation thereof, and whether you have paid the tax correctly or that also can be checked. Value of exempted outward supply divided by value of outward supply made. So whether to that extent, whether you have taken the credit of exclusive input of the exempted goods or no GST supplies, that also can be checked. And also it can be checked whether you have reversed the 42 and 43 ratio of the ITC under 42 and common ITC under rule 42 and 43 as per the formula. Input tax credit avail on inputs to purchase price of inward. They will give you what are your input percentages and what is the output tax, rate of tax. Whether you have taken the inverted duty structure which was not necessary, all that can be checked. Value of zero rated supply to total supply. If you are exporting without payment of duty, so if this ratio and this ratio has got the first ratio and this ratio has got the direct implications. Non-GST supply to total supply. So what I'm trying to say, all these ratio analysis will be the indicator of and reconciling your all those financial ratio indicators as per cost audit report or the financial statement. And if there are the variations, they will be asking you more details or they will be going for the audit in that area more details. Now, let's say, what are the objectives? To identify removal of goods without payment of duty, to detect wrong input tax avail, or to detect input tax avail without receipt of goods. Identify whether the valuation of goods is correctly done and tax has been correctly discharged. Identify claiming of input tax credit on input used in exempted products. Fraudulent availment of credit. Identify supply of essential parts of outward supply as exempted supplies and undervaluation. And so many aspects can be seen which we will be covering in the next slides. Now, what are the indications and what is the utility of this report? As I was talking to you, total input tax avail to total outward tax paid. It can give you a value addition percentage. And they can see the trend analysis in annual and monthly GST returns. They also can, what is the utility to identify wrong availment of ITT, income input tax credit. Identify valuation goods or value addition should be involved. Adequate differences between two. Removal of goods without payment of duty, or identify claiming input tax credit used in the exempted products. So, and this will be cross-checked with other cost audit report, tax audit report, what you have said, and financial statement. Total inward supply to total outward supply value is give the value addition. And like, you know, when we talk wages, depreciation, interest will not be a part of that. So, wages, depreciation, interest plus profit, all that is considered as a part of a value addition. And then they will say what you are reported in cost audit, what you are reported in financial audit, what is coming here, and whether Axis is aware and that value addition is matching. I think I explained all those things. I'll just go on this. Similar way, these services will be calculated. Now, this is the important part which they will be going, and this questionnaire, rather as a cost accountant, we should be also ready to help our client to understand what is the process and what are the lacunas can be there in the system. From this flow, internal control system flow, we'll be knowing what can be a lacunas and where are the errors can happen. And those areas will be checked in detail. whether all purchases are centralized or decentralized. Now, why I'm saying is, let us say it is a centralized purchase. I have the office in Mumbai, corporate office, my purchase department says in Mumbai, and we place the order in Delhi supplier to supply to my Karnataka unit. So what happens? Since I have raised the purchase order, there are two ways of doing it. One, Delhi person will send the bill because it's the centralized to Mumbai and he will charge IGST. But Mumbai also will take the credit. And Maharashtra, that is Mumbai, may not raise. Goods will go to bill to ship to basis to Karnataka. And Maharashtra will not raise the invoice on Karnataka, even though they have taken the credit utilization. Now, all these aspects are there in the centralized purchases, which I have seen across. Based on the place of supply, how the POs are raised, how the centralized accounting is done. Based on that, there are the lacunas where the possibility of wrong credit availing at the wrong place, and if you are avail the wrong credit, bill to ship to transaction, there are two invoices which you'll have to make. One is for input which you have received, and then where the material has gone. If it is in a different state, you have to go. So this is the normal errors which I have observed in wherever the centralized system is there. Whether all purchases are made only by issue of purchase order or different series of purchase orders, and whether it is a centralized or what are the controls which has been raised. So when PO is there, without receipt of the PO, if it is there, there are likelihood that this will be also available when you will do the e-way reconciliation. You will find in most of the cases, especially in the steel, plastic, which we call sensitive units, their POs are not issued and material only invoices are purchased. All those aspects can be seen. Whether there is a system of authorized vendor list. Now, when it is authorized vendor list, whether you are checking on their website on the GSTN portal, whether he is filing his registration is cancelled, and still you are availing you are receiving the goods and taking the credit. I have seen while doing the GSTN 9C also, or while doing the internal audit for the department, for the companies also, number of places we have found like this, where registrations has been cancelled suo motu by the department for either not filing the return or some reason or some otherwise. But we are continuing purchases from him, paying him also with GST amount, and he is not filing the returns. So these are the issues which will come out of this. Now, whether there is a rejected material inward supply stored separately, when he takes the credit, if rejected material is supplied, whether it is sent back on the credit note of the supplier or whether it is outward supply treated, and how the treatment has been given. If you receive the goods, whether in the short quantity if you have received, whether you have taken the proportionate credit or otherwise. How you deal with the purchase return, debit notes and credit notes. Whether for sending the rejected material back, whether procedure has been set up. What stage is ITC availed? At the time of receipt or after rejection or whatever the shortage or excess reported. So all that methodology has to see in, and based on the findings, the area of testing can be decided. On the inward supply is rejected or short quantity received, whether RTC reversal is done or not. Whether any item is supplied free of cost by the customer. If it is a free of cost by the customer, what are the terms of the purchase order? And whether if that is mentioned or not mentioned, because if it is free of cost supplied is mentioned, and in the PO is mentioned, there is a board circular. If it is specifically mentioned that rates has been negotiated on the ground that he is going to supply you the free of cost material, then there is no issue of valuation. Otherwise, valuation. Go to the outward supplies. What is the marketing pattern? Through depot, stockist, CNF agent, related person, directly or registered person. You will find there is a different valuation. Rule 28 talks about depot or related person or CNF agent or stockist, distinct entity. Now you might be seeing it. Wherever the budgetary controls or budgetary support is provided, you will see the valuation difference from one depot to another depot or one state to another state. How many series of outward supplies are made, and whether all those series have been accounted and also reflected in GSTR1. Whether all different series of outward supplies are entered in the outward supply account or different outward supply account. Whether who authorizes the dispatch of outward supplies, how the e-way bill is generated. Now you will find even today in the e-invoicing pattern, now I have seen e-invoices are not generated and therefore IRN is not there. Lot of errors still we are observing it. Whether any charges of erection and commissioning is corrected. Whether tax on invoice supplied on the composite supply, how you are given the treatment of composite supply, mixed supply. Material supplied on the recipient of the free of cost, if you are supplied free of cost, how you are dealt with. Whether you are shared certain expenses of dealer on account of advertisement, royalty, handling charges, packing charges, or you are charged separately, how you are dealt in the valuation. Because as per section 15, all those expenses will have to charge and become the part of value on which you have to pay the tax. Whether the commercial invoices and outward supplies invoices are different or same, and if it is a different, how you reconcile and how you ensure the tax is correctly paid. Who is authorizing to fix the price? Who is authorizing to make supplementary invoices for debit note or price variation or additional recoveries like advertisement, after sales, additional packing, insurance, freight, depot charges, delayed recoveries, delayed interest. Outward supply figures mentioned in GSTR1 tallying in the records. Whether goods were received for repairs and return. What type of discounts are given? Because whether it was pre-known to prior to the supply. If yes, then only you can do the tax adjustment. Otherwise, you cannot adjust the tax liability. Only you will be giving the financial debit credit note. Go to the stores. Whether receipt of store records are shown after inspection. Then what is the frequency of stock taking? You will find in para 7, if you are in the SAP environment, your 701 and 702 is the most weak area in the audit. You will have to analyze before the audit starts, because there is all types of adjustments are accounted there. Excess consumption is accounted there, or shortage and excesses are accounted there, or wrong issues or short issues. Hello? Are you able to? I'm audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, what is the frequency of stock taking? You are, especially when you are at the SAP environment, 701, 702, 551, 552 transactions, you need to analyze well. ABC category items, you need to check the frequency of physical verification. And insurance claim, if you have received, insurance claim is doubtably it is actionable claim. But for insurance claim, when you lost, there are certain losses also, maybe on any account. So whether you have reversed the ITC thereof, how you are dealt with that, all that will matter. How you are maintaining the records. You see, ITC 04, if you do the synthesis and analysis thereof, it is a raw, almost, I will say, non-compliances in ITC 04 is very high. Quantitative reconciliation is not been done. And material, if it is not written, whether the reversal has been made, whether scrap has been received back, if received back, how it has been dealt with. If not received back, whether the job worker has paid the tax or you have paid the tax on his behalf, or whether the scrap is adjusted in your prices, and whether on scrap your job worker has paid the tax or not. All that question will come in that. How you deal with the defective and damaged goods. How you deal with the write-offs. Now go on the tax accounting point. Whether GST paid on inward supplies are shown separately in purchase accounts. Whether ITC receivable or ITC clearing account, you are showing it after GST or 2A matching. You are showing ITC receivable. Till that time it is in the clearing account. What is that procedure? Because whether it is right or wrong, whether that provision of 36(4) or matching provision is unconstitutional as held by the Bombay High Court, all that questions will come. Because department is going to continue with the matching provision, 110% or 120% from 1st October 2019. Then November onwards, 110%, and in 105 onwards, 105% now. And after this, when the date will be notified exactly as per the matching. How you deal with the sales return, how you adjust that quantity, how you are disposed of further. Whether GST payable on outward supplies made, shown separately. I have seen my experience. What happens is, we do the sales turnover reconciliation, undoubtedly in 9 and 9C. But you can see a lot of recoveries we make and credit to the purchase, credit to the P&L account or profit and loss account, or credit to the expense account. How many of us really see those credits appearing in the expense account, whether it deemed to be supplies, whether on such supplies you have paid the tax or not? All that questions will come in therein. Now, capital goods, if you are disposal, in your gross block, you will find additions, transfers, disposals, sales. Whether on that disposal and sales or transfer, how you are treated your liability on GST. Whether if you have taken the ITC, whether you have reversed the 5% per quarter or transaction value, whichever is higher, all that you will have to see it. Whether your electronic credit ledger and cash ledger is matching with your books of accounts. If not, what are the reasons? All those aspects will come here. Job work, input-output ratio. What are the records you are maintaining while sending the goods, while returning the goods? Number of time I have found job work is the weak. Earlier in excise era, subcontracting or job work was much better. But in GST era, since ITC 04 was delayed, and there is a not, and the way ITC 04 is designed, either company has also lost the sight of controlling it. And I find these are the areas where a lot of errors are there. What are the records maintained for input sending? Whether you are preparing the UA bill while sending the goods and while receiving the goods, whether it is received against the UA bill, whether the monthly and periodical statements are prepared, what is the system of treatment of scrap, whether finished goods are sent directly from job worker and how you have paid the tax on that. If not received within specified date, whether the reversal was made, and whether the process inward supplies after conversion are sold from principal directly to the job worker, whether exports are made directly from job workers' premises, how the controls has been taken place. Similarly, they have prepared the questionnaire in general questionnaire for knowing the company, invoicing patterns, accounts and records, making the GST return, what are the control points when you prepare the monthly return, what are the, whether you have the tally, and what happens is after preparing the returns also some backdated entries are made, and on that tax payment is skipped. Number of times we have observed like that. So what are the locking and control systems? How you determine the place of supply? I have find even today after the 4 years we are getting completed of GST, identification of place of supply and payment correctly of CGST and SGST as against IGST or vice versa is still the gray area which I find. Valuation and whatever the amounts which to be included in the taxable value, whether we are taking or not. Now the fourth important point, kindly note, your internal MIS is also the statutory document. Whether internal MIS and your statutory books, whether the financial accounts, cost audit, or the GSTR returns, 9 and 9C are matching with MIS, or something is there. You will find here, for the department, you are making cost center-wise analysis. You work out the cost center-wise, profit center-wise profitability, and you do their internal debits and internal credits. And that internal debits or allocation and apportionment, which reflects in MIS, do not have the impact in the GST. You don't make. And that is the reason the Columbia case of advance ruling, whether cross charge will be invited or not invited, and whether the tax has been paid or not paid, all that will be checked here. All these documents also will be checked. List of input services, service suppliers, list of capital goods suppliers, and other suppliers. And kindly note, you should have the regular habit of checking whether your supplier has filed the return, whether, because now you might be seeing GSTR 3B is also the return in terms of section 39. Now GSTR 2A, you will be getting the already 36.4 is notified, 16.2 subsection 16 subsection 2 AA has been already been incorporated in the budget, and that is the reason you will have to be very, very clear to know your supplier and to know your supplier's rating. ITC ledger and ITC avail, ITC invoices, contracts, MOUs, principal agreements, all that will be subjected to the audit. List of branches, of course, turn one return. These are the good records will be checked for the goods, purchase order, price circular, delivery challan, material transfer note, sales book, outward supply book. Records related to the stores, store ledger, GRN, material receipt note, inspection cum receipt note, material return note, rejected goods register, waste register, physical stock verification, and job work. And on each point, they will be checking what are your controls and whether you have discharged your liability correctly, whether you have taken the right credit or wrong credit. As far as financial accounts, ledgers, debit note, credit note, JVs, internal audit report, purchase book, purchase return, income tax audit report, income tax returns, fixed asset register, and monthly stock statement which you have sent to the bank. This will also a very good indicator how the company functions. As far as services are concerned, Again, all agreements, purchase order, output supply, store ledger, records related to invoice, ledger, debit note, credit note, the same thing which we were talking. Now, how they will be going on? All this, whatever I said, they will be asking you pre-audit, or when they come for the audit, they said, I want this from you to be done. Because as a law, 65, you are supposed to render the assistance to the auditor. And that is the good opportunity for the cost accountant to impress on the client that this is what is required and this is better, like an income tax scrutiny assessment, whatever is required, we know. Same thing, we get it prepared no sooner our year is over and reconciliation or GSTR 9 and 9C is filed. This is very high opportunity for the cost accountants to do it. So, based on the DG audit, they will be defining the scope of audit. They will do the desk review. After that, they will do the in-depth verification, which I'll be covering in my last slides. Minutes of audit will be prepared by him, or rather, all this database he has to furnish and submit it to the GSTN network. And GSTN network will give him the additional queries to check, calculate the ratio analysis, prepare the checkpoints for audit, and based on that, they will make a risk control matrix for the company. Then they will do the verification and then audit findings will be there. They will also seeking your reply on that and then prepare the audit report. And after audit report, if you agree to the audit para, fair enough, pay, smile, pay with the interest and penalty of 15%. If you do not agree, no show cause notice under section 73 and 74, they will be issuing the demand notices. The focus of audit, though you will find this repeatedly, but this is very important. Core changes. And from core changes, they will know when you are made and prior to that, whether you have started the operation, what is the impact to be given for the ITC availment, whether the tax has been discharged from that place and how you have reported it, in which registration you have reported it. Non-core changes, definitely penalties will be there for the per day penalty. ISD, your MIS, issue of cross charge and proper distribution as per the formula, that will be the focus for the audit. In master, customer, master, whether B2C you are reported correctly, B2B you are reported correctly, and whether you identified the place of supply correctly and discharge the correct tax liability. And I said, when bill to ship to transactions is there are a lot of errors which I could find it, and error percentage not less than 30-40%. That is my experience. As far as suppliers master is concerned, they will check how much percentage you have made up purchases from compositions dealer, how much from the unregistered dealer. That percentage is taken out for the ITC, and still ITC is more than they will investigate. Whether the e-invoicing is applicable to you, how you are dealing with that, or you are receiving the goods from such dealer whose turnover is more than 50 crore, but they are not following e-invoicing. Kindly note, such e-invoice is not the valid document as per the GST records. And filers and non-filers of the registered suppliers and GSTR 2A RICO, which is going to be very important parameters now. Items of HSN, whether the exemption and rate of tax you have correctly applied, whether tax code in the system you have rightly put, and ITC entitlement. For exclusive items for exempted and no GST supplies, whether you have availed the credit or not, how you identify that, how you deal with the common material, common ITC reversal, whether block credit, you have taken the credit or not, and whether your compliance under the section 16, section 17 of the CGST Act and Rule 36(4), all that parameters, all will be the focus area from this registration and masters. Most important part, this is the highest work which every cost accountant need to do for his client for such assignment. They are going to ask you the trade analysis of GSTR 1 and 3B, because people are taking the benefit of GSTR 3B, not GSTR 3 is not there, so GSTR 3B shortcut was made. But what people are taking, undue credit, if you do not have cash to pay, undue credit is available in that month, and subsequent 2-3 months it is reversed. So interest liability also will come thereon. So the trend analysis of that will be matched with your inventory trend analysis. Then GSTR 1 and 3B RICO. GSTR 1 you have shown some different liabilities, and GSTR 3B you have shown different liabilities. What are the reasons thereof? All those aspects will come thereof. Critical analysis of GSTR 9C. You see, in 9C, what are the factors in the reconciliation you have seen? What are your auditors have observed? What are the areas of the weak areas he could observe, so that in departmental audit he will go more. Outward supply as per GSTR 9C and TDS return. Now you know TDS on goods has also come, TCS on goods has been there. TDS on services are also there. So for inward supplies also it will be matched, and outward supplies also it will be matched. So TDS, TCS returns will be matched for inward supply as well as the outward supplies. Submission to the banks. You have submitted the stock statement, debtor statement, or whatever the bank statement you submit your MIS. You have shown sales more to get your working capital more. You have shown stocks more, but in that month your stocks is less and you have not reversed that shortage of that. You will have to explain it more clearly. Reconciliation of cost audit and cost sheets with outward supply, inward supply, and valuation. Material reconciliation. Inward supply with EWA bill, outward supply with EWA bill, and job work with EWA bill are mandatory requirement. Kindly note, and number of companies you will observe that without EWA bill also material is inverted. How you will prove when amount is more than threshold limit and you have received the material without supporting of EWA bill, or EWA bill reference is not mentioned, or EWA bill you have not preserved, then how you will substantiate that you have received the goods and services? Earlier, at least there was a transporter, his statement was recorded and so on and so forth. But now that is no need. You have not prepared the EWA bill, you have not written the GR and EWA bill, you have not received the goods, because without EWA bill, even though it is goods received, it needs to be confiscated under under Rule 129, and all those aspects will be, I'll say it will open the Pandora's box. You will also find you have received the goods without valid EWA bill, that is expired EWA bill. All those aspects you need to prepare the answer today. Now these are going to be audit details which will be required. We talk on the registration, composition scheme. Let us say if your client is under composition scheme, and then after threshold limit is over, whether he has availed the credit correctly on the stocks, or when his threshold limit is after the year end, when he further adopts a composition scheme, whether he has reversed the ITC on the stock. All those schemes will be there. Suspended and cancelled registration, that ready-made list is there. They will be coming and they will be checking how much material you have received from them. And you are not supposed to take the credit of that. unregistered person supply goods. Now, when we say supply goods or supply services, only financial accounts outward turnover will not be important. You have to see Schedule 1 to Section 7, Schedule 2 to Section 7, Schedule 3 to Section 7, and you will identify number of aspects, especially on the credit side of the expenses. You will find very few people have paid the tax. And that is what is most going to be important. Deemed supply, how you are treated. Recoveries from vendors, recoveries from contractors, you are credited to the expenses, how you are treated. Employee is one of the important aspects. Now there are cross judgments on the recovery, notice pay recovery or recovery from employees, and so-called and so forth. Canteen, one of the important areas, and how you are given the treatment of that. Supply of services, goods treated as a services, especially in the worst contract, or especially in the case of a combo supply, what is the principal supply? Immovable property supply, if it is there, how you are treated in that, how ITC you are availed or not availed, if you are disposed of immovable properties, or let us say if you are the builder and promoter, all those aspects of a commencement certificate, rates, and all those things will be there. Intellectual property supply, how you are dealt with that, whether the permanent and temporary, all that issues are out. Agricultural, cess attracting articles, whether you are paid the compensation cess or not. Where supply is made in the kinds barter deal, especially purana le lo, naya le lo, purana deke naya le lo, all such stuff barter deal, or where non-monetary consideration free goods of supplies are given, how you are dealt in the valuation. Where no consideration is received, but if it is a deemed supply, how you are dealt with the valuation, how you are paid the tax, all those aspects will be the in-depth checking of the documents. No supply item, whether exclusive at ITC, you are not taken the ITC, or whether you have reversed the common credit on that, except mentioned in Section 18 of CGST Act. Money transactions, digital currency transactions, and especially in the foreign currency remittances with the services of export, whether you have received it or not. Now, in case of refund, also now under 9610 or 89.4, if you do not receive the foreign currency in export proceeds in time, then you will have to pay back the refund which has been already granted to you. How you are classified? What is the, you see, classification is based on HSN, but exemption is based on the nomenclature. So how you are dealt with the nomenclature? How you are, whether exemption you are rightly claim or not claim. Reverse charge on goods and services, of course, goods are not there much, but reverse charge on services, it is found that number of companies, especially import of services, CI, even the ocean freight, all those problems are still there. If you are e-com operator, whether you have followed the rules and regulations there correctly, whether TGS, TCS provision you have applied correctly or not, how you utilize the credit, whether input tax credit you are reverse and shows other reverse. And I have found number of times. Let us take a case. You have the purchase return. So what happens is, you have supplied on your outward tax invoice, but old habit die hard, and therefore number of companies has reversed the ITC rather than paying outward tax. Actually, it is the outward tax liability. Outward tax liability is dealt separately and ITC is dealt separately. ITC reversal is only will happen in the case of block credit if you have taken it, or Rule 42, 43 credit, or shortages. You have taken full credit and then shortages are recovered, you have reversed it, or you have destroyed the goods. Block credit 17.5H. Cess also you have taken the credit even though cess is not applicable to you. ISD I already tell the formula thereof. Valuation issue, time of supply, interest liability will emerge. Place of supply I could find especially section 12, section 13. I have found lot of issues to determine the correct identification of goods and services, and thereby wrongly charge the tax. And especially these are the things which is happening. I have found one company which is in the project, EPC contract. All the billing used to be done by the corporate office, even though EPC contract is related to immovable property and registration has to be taken in that state. They had taken the registration there, but all ITC was availed in one corporate office and invoice was also made in the corporate office. All that company will come in the problem even though tax has been correctly discharged. Per se revenue has got it, the revenue, but whether the state government has the right state government has got the revenue or not, whether the correct identification of place of supply was made or not, all that issues will emerge. Place of supply in the case of goods of export and import. As far as the export of goods, there is no much problem, but as far as services are concerned, a lot of problems are there. SEZ. Now kindly note, supply to the SEZ, zero rated will be applicable only for authorized operation. How many of us are asking the details from the SEZ, whether my goods or services which are going to be used for the authorized operation? If that details are not available with you, it is not the zero rated service and tax will be applicable. Point number one. Let us say my SEZ, I am located in Pune. One SEZ is also located in Pune. I have charged him CGST and SGST and also taken the refund of that. That was wrong. Actually, it is called as interstate supplies. IC sale, merchant trade, how you are given the treatment, inbound sales. Now, fortunately, in 1819 onwards, it is very clear. Retrospective amendment has been made. So, there is no problem. But as far as merchant exporter is concerned, how you are charged the tax? If merchant exporter is availing the benefit, whether the recipient of the goods of the merchant exporter have claimed the refund of 9610, all that issues will be coming out of this. As far as return is concerned, GSTR 1 and 3B, liability, you have to see whether it is matching. Credit, whether you are rightly availed, whether it is matching with your ITC ledger. In the books, 9 and 9C, what is the reconciliation? What are the issues of reconciliation? How that you are dealt with the transactional activities. Your financial records, how you are reconciled with your GST records. How you are reconciled with the cost audit report. How you are reconciled with the cost sheets. TDS, TCS of income tax as well as GST. Job work. Team export. Team export, whether you have taken the refund and whether Form A, Form B procedure you have followed or not. I think the interest and refund. You will find in the refund, lot of changes has happened in refund from 2018 onwards. 2018 to 2019, there were 6 notifications absolutely changing each other. And then ultimately after 2019, November, October, the refund procedure has been stabilized. Before that, if you have taken the refund, already you might have started receiving the notices to your company that people who have availed the benefit of EOU or availing the benefit of advance authorization, they also claim the refund of IGST paid on the finished goods. Now duty demand has already started. Pre-import, pre-export condition has already started. All those issues from these documents will be known and then queries will be raised. List is unending. Output tax interchange. If business is change, merger, amalgamation, takeovers, succession, whether you are dealt correctly or not. And this is all the verification of all the returns will be going as far as outward supply, inward supply, non-monetary transaction, deemed supply, other income, no supply, ITC, apportion credits, block credits, 1750, records matching, returns, place of supply, export and import. Refunds are dealt in. All those aspects you need to check. Threadwear, it is more of a transactional audit and not the overall reconciliation. Kindly note, department is going to come well prepared, or they are going to ask you to prepare, submit it to the GSTN network, get their experts, that is, and then come with specific queries. Be prepared. Kindly note, this is the help we can give to our clients to prepare for the GST audit. Or if you are working in the companies, you need to prepare this much in advance before the audit starts. So audit comes and goes very smoothly. This is what I wanted to deliberate. Now I kept 30 minutes for question and answers. And thank you for all of you. And before that, let me pardon for 5 minutes, 10 minute delay because I was not knowing how to share. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
Members, if you have any question answers.
Yeah. I request all the members, please unmute yourself if you have any question.
If there are no questions, it means...
Yeah, I think there is no...
Okay, one question.
I have failed so much or I have confused so much.
So
sir, there is one question.
Yes, please.
Basically you told sir ki like GST is not on the production, but it is basically on the sales.
Supply, not even sales.
Supply. Yeah, supply. So in that case, documents like MIS or the documents being submitted to bank like CM and all, that should not be relevant here.
No,
because if they are going to consider this, there will be more confusion than the clarification.
You see,
yeah,
I'll just clarify. They will ask you to reconcile with your MIS with your these figures, GSTR figures. And then you will come out, this is the stock transfer, so it will not come in MIS, or this has not been reflected in MIS for so and so reasons. Or MIS you have reported higher figure, but it will not come in GSTR because of no supply or exempted. Analysis, you will have to give the explanation. But they are going to check because that is mentioned in that they have come with the very specific tables and they are going to seek this reconciliation with you. So whether relevant or not relevant, they will ask you the reconciliation and then they will ask you the questions.
And second, sir, the documents being submitted to bank, like many times it goes based on the certain assumptions, not on the facts.
So that is the reason they say you have to be transparent everywhere. Based on the books only you have to give there, not on assumptions and presumptions.
Sir, I'm Chandrasekharan.
Now, for example, in bank, you might have given the stock statement of 10 crore, whereas your stocks may be only having a 8 crore. So I will ask you immediately 8 crore ka stock hai, 2 crore ka shortage hai, reversal karo. Yes.
Yeah.
Chandrasekhar.
Chandrasekhar sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, is any criteria for that audit period is there? For example, income tax more than 8 years, they are not open that assessment. Like that in GST, any criteria for that,
Yes.
sir?
What it says, you have to preserve your accounts for 72 months from the date of annual return which you have filed.
72 months.
72 months from the date of annual return which you have filed. Now,
Okay.
let us say 17, 18 annual return you have filed in January 19.
Okay.
So, January 19, after that 6 years. So, up to 25, they can check your 17, 18.
Okay. Okay. Because they are not coming for that audit, so we need to preserve all the documents like income tax.
Yes. And you see, they have started, I don't know how many of you know that is now department has started issuing the ADT 01.
Okay.
Lot of notices have started issuing it.
Okay. Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
And for the practicing cost accountant, we'll have to educate our clients that this is going to be there. Kindly read GST, go to the gst.gov.in, download GST audit manual. Go to the Karnataka Commercial Tax Department, download their GST audit manual. You will find whatever the information what I have talked, everything is available there. And they are seeking all this information mandatorily, because this is like an income tax baseless assessment. What happens today, we prepare the statement which is uploaded in the income tax site. Queries are raised from there, which we reply again on online. There is only officer is the postman's job, what he is doing now. Similarly, GST auditor is also supposed to prepare the data, put it on the GST network. They have developed a very nice audit query system, and all that network will be analyzed and you will be given this one. So rather than waiting for ADT 01, it is always better to prepare everything and get ready. Now you tell me how many of your clients or how many of your companies will be ready with the e-way bill reconciliation for inward supplies or e-way bill reconciliation of outward supplies. And that
no, sir. No. What you are saying is correct.
And
we are not yet prepared.
If e-way bill, let us say for inward, value is more than 2 lakhs or more than 1 lakh, and you have no e-way bill, how you are going to confirm to the customer, to department, that you have received the goods and services? Because that is a mandatory condition for availing the ITC. How you will convince?
Okay.
Or suppose you have received the goods after expiry of the e-way bill. Whether those goods are yours, it needs to be confiscated. All those questions are going to come. Job work. Number of times your job worker is not preparing the e-way bill and it comes directly to you. Or job worker material is sent in hurry. Now let us say what you do, number of companies. Valuation, they show less than 50,000, so no e-way bill is required to be prepared. Now valuation can be checked from your store ledger. WIP, cost of production, also will be considered. And that database will not be there with you. So all those questions are going to come. This audit is going to be worse than EA 2000 audit. I can tell you. Because this is not going to be usko packet de diya, wo chala gaya. Because he has to submit all those documents and upload in the GSTN. And then GSTN will send the query and again he will ask you or do the verification. Then he will prepare his all notebook, all the audit notebooks, audit data, and will be given to the audit committee, that is the monitoring committee report, MCM meeting, and then it will be deliberated. So पहले का पाकिट दिया नो चला गया, वो अभी चलने वाला नहीं है. इसीलिए this is the golden opportunity to educate to the industry where industry is also going to get benefited and cost accountant also will get benefited.
But most of the supplier is splitting that invoices, because even though it is coming into that same transport lorry, they putting that 48,000 and 49,000 in order to avoid that.
When it is coming in the same lorry and 3 invoices are there and e-way bill is not there, this is the most danger zone.
Okay.
Most danger zone. If it is coming in different vehicles, no issue.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
And in that case, how you will confirm lorry number is same, these goods have been received? That is going to be a major issue in ITC.
Normally receiving that people say we are not capturing that lorry, no, we are not able to prove it. Yes, it is coming in a different vehicle, because supplier is sending that material. Transporter is their scope. Okay. Their scope. Okay, I am receiving the material, I am invading it.
No, fair enough. He will check his outward supply where the truck number will be written. Na?
Yes.
That will be noticed. Now everything is computerized. So matching is very easy. Gone are the earlier days when nothing was computerized.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Is anybody have a question? Okay. Now I would request CMA Devendra Devre sir, please give a vote of thanks.
Sir, on behalf of the Pimpri-Chinchwad Akholi Chapter of Cost Accountants, and on behalf of all members and participants, I thank you. You have explained this is very complicated GST audit, and again, sitting in the shoes of like an auditor, in-depth analysis, total right from the registration of the GST, its various form reconciliations, masters of customers and suppliers, what care is to be taken, the very exhaustive list you have shown and you explain one by one. I am seeing various messages from the chat. There are various messages like Mr. Girish Gagar, Mr. Damodaran Kotha, various messages that everybody is saying this is excellent, and we are very, very thank you. So I will say you are the Google. Whenever this is not available, just ask Noel sir. That's all. It's a really, you are father of this GST, sir. Not only now I am seeing, when I was there in the excise audit. So we are very thank you for you and very resourceful. I thought I will skip this today because from morning I was sitting for the 50 hours mandatory training of insolvency, and at the end of the day this training was there, and I seen your messages that there is also in the GST seminar. I thought I have to attend it at anyhow. So it's really great. I am very thank you, sir.
Thank you, Govindra, for your nice words.
Thanks, sir, once again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my views. Thank you.